What's up, extraordinary people? I'm Daniel, and today I'm going to be counting down my list of the best films of 2022. Now, I didn't see every movie that was released last year, obviously, but this is a list of the movies that I did see that, in my personal subjective opinion, I thought were the best. I don't have dedicated reviews of most of these movies, so just consider this my review. This is going to be in the form of a top 10 list, so before I get started, I'm just going to name some honorable mentions that were definitely among the best movies of the year for me. I just didn't like them as much as the movies that made my top 10 list. So those movies are Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, RRR, Glass Onion, She Said, Tar, Till, The Northman, and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Those are my honorable mentions. They're all amazing films. I just like the ones that I'm about to talk about better. So getting to my top 10 list, number 10 is The Banshees of Inisherin. This movie by writer-director Martin McDonagh tells the story of two friends in Ireland who have a falling out set against the backdrop of the Irish Civil War.
Just tell me what I've done to you.
But you didn't do anything to me. I just don't like you no more.
This film is basically a meditation on violence and conflict and how arbitrary and pointless it often is.
What the hell's going on with you, me feckin' brother?
He's dull, Siobhan.
But he's always been done.
And the story is brought to life by a brilliant cast with brilliant dialogue.
Do you know who we remember for how nice they was in the 17th century?
Who?
Absolutely no one. Yet we all remember the music of the time. Everyone to a man knows Mozart's name.
I don't, so there goes that theory.
It's a really dark and intimate drama, but it's also really funny, and it leaves you with a lot to think about.
The other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day.
Well, it wasn't me little donkey shite, it was me pony shite, which shows how much you were listening.
Number 9. Top Gun: Maverick. This movie, directed by Joseph Kosinski and starring the incomparable Tom Cruise, is a sequel to the 1986 film Top Gun and tells the story of Maverick, a retired fighter pilot who must train a group of new pilots to take out a nuclear reactor before it becomes operational.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Utilizing real fighter jets and pilots, Top Gun: Maverick is an absolutely edge-of-your-seat thrill ride from beginning to end.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators.
But what really anchors this movie is its surrogate father-son story involving Maverick and one of the up-and-coming pilots who blames Maverick for the death of his father.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
It's a really heartfelt story, and it's a really big, explosive action spectacle with just enough heart and emotion to keep it grounded. Number 8.
Hey, you want to see something cool?
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. This is probably my new favorite DreamWorks movie, and I don't say that lightly because they've made a lot of really good movies. But Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is not only hilarious, it's thrilling, it's wildly imaginative, and it's surprisingly dark and mature, even more so in fact than many so-called adult films.
You died. Doctor.
Relax! I am Puss in Boots! I have 9 lives.
And how many times have you died already?
I am not really a math guy. Hola, señorita. Do you like gazpacho? Does this have shellfish in it? A cat always lands on his feet. Watch! Watch! Ha! Watch! And then there was the giant today. So what is that, like, a 4?
That makes 8, Puss.
This story about Puss coming to terms with his own mortality is really heartfelt and explores really deep personal themes about life and what's most important.
What do you wish to do with your last life?
When you only have one life, that's what makes it special.
It's way more than I was expecting from a sequel to a spin-off of a film that came out over 2 decades ago. Number 7. Avatar: The Way of Water. As of the making of this video, Avatar: The Way of Water has surpassed $2 billion at the box office, and it's not hard to see why.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
In an era of streaming when fewer and fewer people go out to the movie theater, Avatar: The Way of Water reminds us why the theater is such a special experience. It's an absolutely magnificent spectacle of visual effects, immersive worlds, and thrilling adventure.
The way of water connects all things.
Avatar: The Way of Water is a purely cinematic experience that succeeds just as much as a riveting piece of storytelling as it does on a visual level.
This family is our fortress.
Number 6.
I want to tell you a story. It's a story you may think you know, but you don't.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. This movie blew me away.
I'm a real boy!
The stop-motion animation is immaculate, feeling as smooth and real as it does conveying character and emotion.
And I won't be a burden anymore.
The story is intensely intimate, raising existential questions about the human condition, but it's also fun and adventurous at the same time.
While you may have eternal life, your loved ones, they do not. You never know how long you have with someone until they're gone.
This is one of the best adaptations of Pinocchio ever, and it's a bold artistic statement from one of the best filmmakers working today.
Life is such a wonderful gift.
Number 5.
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse?
Nope. Jordan Peele has now gone 3 for 3, proving himself once again to be the master of intelligent horror. This movie about 2 Hollywood horse ranchers who attempt to get photographic proof of a UFO is a riveting piece of cinema with unforgettable characters, fascinating themes, and layers upon layers of imagery and subtext, exploring the Hollywood system and how it exploits people for profit. This film isn't just one of the scariest films in recent memory, it's also one that you can talk about for hours afterwards.
Yeah, nah. Run!
Number 4.
I'm vengeance.
The Batman. This movie is my new favorite Batman movie of all time because it gets everything right and does everything I've ever wanted a Batman movie to do.
When that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning.
Robert Pattinson plays Batman perfectly, but he also plays the best version of Bruce Wayne I've ever seen on screen, playing a character who feels like the kind of person who would actually put on a bat costume and go beat up people in the middle of the night.
I don't care what happens to me.
The story here is also brilliant, focusing on Batman's detective skills and questioning the most fundamental aspects of his character. Is what he's doing right? Does it work? Is he actually making things worse? By asking these questions and fully exploring the answers, this movie is able to dive into some really timely social commentary, as well as extremely poignant storytelling.
I've been trying to reach you. Fire the gun!
On top of that, the cinematography is beautiful, the action scenes are edge of your seat, pulse pounding, and everything else just works perfectly.
I got you! I got you!
This is, in my opinion, the best Batman movie ever made. Number 3.
Movies are dreams that you never forget.
The Fabelmans. This film by Steven Spielberg is based on his own life growing up, and features a boy named Sam Fabelman in the 1950s and 1960s who wants to become a filmmaker.
What kind of movie are we gonna make?
The brilliance of this movie is how much it's able to accomplish through its relatively simple story. It's a movie that celebrates film, its power, its beauty. It's about the struggle of being an artist, what you have to sacrifice to do it, and what that does to you as a person.
Family, art, it'll tear you in two.
It's a film about being part of a family and how beautiful and ugly that can be.
Always have to be the center of attention.
Stop shouting at her!
That has been nothing but disrespect from you. I'm your mother!
It's a film about being an outsider, whether that's a victim of prejudice or simply someone whose goals and dreams are not understood by anyone, even the people closest to them.
It's more important than your hobby. Can you stop calling it a hobby?
Most of all, though, it's simply a film about the experience of being human.
I don't know what to do anymore.
You do what your heart says you have to.
This is a deeply personal film by one of the best filmmakers of all time, and I truly think anyone can find something to love or resonate with in it.
What was your favorite part?
Number 2. Turning Red. I've talked about this film on my channel before, but I cannot stress enough how good this movie is.
I wear what I want, say what I want, 24/7, 365.
It tells the story of a Chinese-Canadian girl named May who learns that all the women in her family have a mysterious condition that turns them into a giant red panda whenever they feel a strong emotion, and that she, of course, has this condition as well. Now, many people describe this movie as being about puberty, but I respectfully disagree.
I'm a gross red monster!
That's an element here, definitely, but most of what this movie is about is toxic expectations, generational trauma, and the feeling that nothing you do will ever be good enough for the people that you look up to.
My whole life I've been perfect little May May. But maybe I like this new me.
And that allows this movie to explore some really deep personal themes in a really moving and beautiful way. If you're a parent or the child of a parent, the latter of which we all are obviously, then there's something in this movie for you. There's something in this movie that you'll resonate with and that will make you feel seen and understood. There are no villains here, just people being human beings. And I didn't even mention yet that this movie is also brilliantly animated, hilarious, and has great music. What more would you want out of a movie?
Mama's girls.
It's gonna be me.
Well, I'm about to answer that with my number 1 film of 2022. The movie that is, in my opinion, the best movie of last year is number 1.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie was amazing. This movie rocked my world. Where do I even start? Conceptually, this movie is brilliant. In a year when Marvel is dominating theaters with multiverse movies, a little independent film comes along and absolutely blows them out of the water. No disrespect to the MCU, but the multiverse in this film feels as mind-blowing and expansive as a multiverse should feel.
I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all of their memories, their emotions, even their skills.
From the perfectly staged and executed action scenes to the mind-bending visuals and ideas. And all of it is in support of a story that feels absolutely essential. I cried multiple times watching this for the first time. It's a story about a regular person just trying to survive and raise her daughter, and then she gets thrown into this huge multiverse where anything is possible, and she realizes that there's a threat facing this multiverse, and it's actually her own daughter, and the choices that she made in raising her, and the worldview that she has and that so many people have. And that makes this character's journey so engrossing and intimate, and this movie's message so powerful. Because life can be overwhelming, just like being in this huge multiverse, and you can eventually feel like nothing really matters.
You can see how everything is just a random rearrangement of particles in a vibrating superposition.
But what this movie says is the most powerful force in this multiverse is love. Choosing to love people even when it doesn't make sense, and seeing that there's always something to love.
There is always something to love.
And that if nothing really matters, then the little things really aren't important, and what is important is just spending time with the people you care about.
尽管离家让我心碎，我想告诉你，如果有来生，我还是会选择和你一起报税，开心一点。
Everything Everywhere All at Once is an extremely powerful, visceral, and emotional experience that will change the way you look at movies and the world. It also has Oscar-worthy performances, amazing visual effects, and is just an extremely thrilling time. I cannot overstate how good this movie is. It's an absolute masterpiece and easily the best film of the year.
Don't let anything distract you from it.
Alright guys, do you agree with my list? What were your favorite movies of 2022? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comments, and remember that you're extraordinary. I love all of you so much. Bye.